All right, we're going to do front brake pads and rotors. Let's get the wheels off. This is going to be a quick one, short and sweet. Stay tuned. It's got the brakes pulsating or shuddering. This is one of the earlier Hiluxes. So we've got the horsepower rotors and pads from lsiauto.com.au. Don't forget the discount code 4B4Diesel. Not my website, just the place we buy stuff from. And rather than me make money out of the parts, I'm happy to send you there. I've set up the discount. You get it at your price, you bring it. I don't have to organise it. I don't have anything to do with it. We just do the labour, or maybe you watch the videos and do it yourself. But brakes, when it comes to brakes, it's a matter of life and death. So you know what? You shouldn't be touching them. It's dangerous. You don't know what you're doing. We've seen cars come in, and so have other workshops, pads in backwards and all sorts of things. I've seen disc rotors worn down past the meat down to the ventilation. We've seen all sorts of things. So it's important not to neglect them either. And if it's a matter of you watching heaps of videos on everybody's YouTube channel, doing your research to learn and understand how brakes work, and it is quite simple if you're mechanically apt. It's more important that it's done than not done if you can't afford it for whatever reason. We're here to help and try and help you understand replacing these brakes. So we're going to not muck around too much chit chat, but it is important to give you that safety warning. This one, yeah, pulsating, shuddering. It's what it actually is disc thickness variation. So the variation of this disc rotor as it goes around, it varies in thickness, very small, hard to measure. And as the disc rotor turns, the brake pads here are clamping the disc rotor to stop the vehicle, and because of that variation, it makes your brakes pulsate. That's what it is. And in service, that's using the brakes. What's happening now, it just gets worse. The only way to get rid of it is to bring the run out down to zero. Once you've got it at zero, if there's no other causes to create that, you won't get it again. But most brakes, machining or new rotors are going to have within specification amount of run out, and it can get worse in service, depends how bad it is. And of course the other factors are the condition of your wheel bearings, your brakes, your caliper slides, pistons, all these sort of wear and tear items, which it's also important to understand, because if you don't, you could have a braking problem and you won't recognize it when it needs to be repaired. Like I said, it's a matter of life and death. Maybe don't touch it. Just got it up in the air doing a bit of a service first, and I just wanted to show you some components to not undo. So you think you're doing your brakes, you think you know about brakes here. Well, just stop for a minute, because you don't know anything. The only things you need to remove to get the pads out is this clip here. This is how it normally sits. Right, it clips in the pins at each end. Got to make sure it's in properly. This one actually, to be quite honest, wasn't. It's like halfway out, so that should be pushed all the way in and look more like this one. I want to see a bit of pin out the other end. If you're doing rotors, you have to take the whole caliper off. That's these two big 17mm. Are they 17s? Yes. 17mm bolts, right? To take the whole caliper. Whatever you do, do not undo these bolts. Thank you. Doing my side as well, beautiful. Yeah, whatever you do, do not undo these 4 bolts here for any reason, unless you are a brake specialist. So don't think you're going to take the caliper off, because people have done it, okay? They undo these bolts, it's all bad news. Let's not even go there. If you do that, don't talk to me. La 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 la. Once you get the pads out, lay them on the bench and have a bit of analysis. We're not replacing these because they're low. Main reason is because the brakes are pulsating, and yeah, they are a little bit low also. The next thing you do, you open up your new replacement parts and you check your pads to make sure they're right before you go too far, because you might be putting it all back or need to do another trip down to your auto store if you didn't get them from lsiauto.com.au, which I'd recommend because it's value for money. So there's those ones, and there's these ones. Oh look, funnily enough, lubricant. Helps stop the squeal. You can have a read of that if you like. You're going to need to pause. Yeah, horsepower, mate. Okay, certificate of conformity. High-end ceramic brake pads. Bada bing, bada boom. Get it on, check the outside diameter, check the hat height. You can actually put on the bench next to each other. Have a look at the height, make sure it's right. Pads, careful when you go, oh, Honda, whatever, because there's a lot of brake pads, calipers that share between different vehicles. These are the rotors. They've got this awesome coating. What's it called? Geomet. All right, don't worry about my dirt and dust. That's from me, from the old rotors, whatever. That's why I got them facing this side, you know, that side down. So I don't want to get this dirty, contaminated with anything. So it's got the coating. You don't have to clean it or anything. It'll just wear off. And these are not turned, if you like, with the machining. So you'll see very faintly, once that wears off, you'll see it more the crosshatch, which I prefer. So decent quality rotors. Let me explain to you this way. As far as I'm concerned, rotors are rotors. You know, same, you know what, different bucket. More or less for your standard braked vehicle, most importantly would be your pads. So if you want, you can get the genuine pads off LSI Auto as well. But these horsepower rotors, I've run them on all my cars, no issues. Bada bing, bada boom, that's what's going on. Also consider checking or changing your front wheel bearings as per my recommendation. We've got a whole playlist on that. And get the wire brush to clean any debris here, because this surface here being flat, it's basically, the rotor relies on this being a flat surface, nothing there, no bits of rock or dirt or anything getting in the way. So what I like to do, you get the wire brush in there as much as you can. I personally spray a bit of like CRC and just let it drip off to clean it, and then compressed air and blow it. So that'll sort of get any high spots like that rust spot there off, because the new rotor might not have a hole there. So that is a bit of a high spot. I can actually feel it. So that needs to be cleaned up. There's one opposite there as well. So a bit of a clean up there. And if the new rotor's got the same holes, then hey, line it up anyway. See the screw holes there? That's for removing the rotor when it's stuck. It's threaded. You put probably an M8. Did you use that this time? Did you put the M8 in the hole to pull it off? Was it an M8? Yeah. I was just going to give them the size, but yeah, something like that anyway. We've got it sitting there on an old brake box. You'll find the bolts that we use when we've got to do that, right? So they're just M8s. These are the ones that I use. And normally I just put them on the small impact driver, the small 40 Newton meter, and just slowly zip them in and out. And you can see that one. Has that got a bit of a damaged thread on it? Anyway, who cares? That's what you use to get it off. On the rear drum brakes, which I'm going to show you later in another video. So subscribe, turn the bell on if you don't want to miss it. So you get the process. Do you get it? Do you get it? We've got a playlist on brakes. Go watch that. Don't think you just saw this video, you know anything. You do need to remove certain ABS lines and brake lines so you don't bend that brake line that people commonly do. Hang up the caliper, something along these lines, or get some tyre wire and you can tie it on through a hole and just hang it there so that it's not pulling on the brake line. Clean that, lube that. You can even put a tiny bit of that copperized grease on the surface to stop this rust that forms between the hub. If you're going to do your wheel bearings, maybe a good idea to do it all at the same time, save you some work. The pistons, this is a 4-pot caliper, right? See, 2 at that side, 2 at that side. All braking systems are different, so don't expect this on every vehicle. This is why you got to watch a lot of videos and get to know the vehicles. You got to carefully push those back. You got to have the right tools, or watch other videos to work out how to do it without damaging any of those rubber boots there. Light on. See that boot? People like to get the screwdriver in. You're checking for damage on those in case anyone's ever done it, because if they have, dirt, moisture is going to get in there, cause some rust and corrosion, and then the piston's not going to work properly. It's not going to go back properly, and when you push it back, it's going to go past the seal. There's a seal in further back behind. Damage the seal, perhaps it might leak. You might have just tight pistons is more likely. It's less likely to have leaks. Tight pistons don't work right, pads wear unevenly, and you end up with brake pulsation, which is why it is important to take it to a specialist, but good luck finding one, or watch lots of videos and really get yourself trained well on brakes. Did I mention it's a matter of life and death, so don't touch it if you don't know what you're doing. But if you're doing it, keep watching more videos. Jump on LSI Auto. Don't forget the discount code 4x4 Diesel. People forget that all the time. Works on the K-On website as well, and it's about to work on the AZ Scanners website for a scan gauge too. Or it has already recently. Might have missed that one. Subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss all this stuff. Over this side, have a bit of a look around. Now we're going, well, is that just moisture there, or is that a bit of grease? You can see the rust where the pad's rubbed there. Don't put grease there really, because it's just going to create dirt and debris to stick to it. It really needs to be clean and dry. Sometimes metal to metal is better than grease and dirt and everything like that. Same in around the inside these pistons is looking good. But when I see a sweat like that, I start getting suspicious, going, well, did someone put a spot of grease up there, right at the top there, or is there a hole there? So we're going to have a closer look at that, and that's where you take note of how hard was it to push back in, right? Have a good look at these, inspection and cleaning, right? That's our concern, right? There. It looks like a bit of grease, doesn't it? Not too sure. We've got to clean it up and have a closer look. Anyway, enough fluffing around. pretty good value for money. Doesn't that look better? And that will be a lot better braking than before. And some nice new pads. Make sure all the clips are in and everything's tight. Like I said, don't do it if you don't know what you're doing, but if you're gathering info and you're going to do it anyway, I'm here to help and give you the info I need, but I suggest you go check the brakes playlist and learn a bit more. What's the go with LSO Auto? Well, LSI Auto, I've been buying the genuine oil filters off them for probably 10 years and started a long time ago. Best value for money. And we've built a relationship and a discount code for you guys so that I don't have to buy your brake pads and make any more money. Thanks for watching. I hope you like that. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell on. And yeah, we'll give it a bit of a clean sometimes when you turn it after the pads are in and all that. The rotor's still loose because a bit of crap black off the caliper, you know what I mean. All right, that's it. Any more questions? Keep watching the videos. You probably want to be in the VIP group amongst a whole bunch of people that are all over it. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.